Dividing fractions practice test. Question number 1, how many 1/4 are in 6? So I'm going to take the whole number 6 and divide it by 1/4. I know that I need to turn this whole number into a fraction, so I'm going to draw a line underneath it and put a 1. And then I'm going to rewrite this problem. 6 over 1, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction of 1/4, which would be 4 over 1. 6 times 4 equals 24, and 1 times 1 equals 1. I know that 24 divided by 1 is the same thing as 24 whole. If the diameter of a tree trunk is growing 1/2 inch each year, how many years will it take for the diameter to grow 9 inches? So I'm going to take 9 inches and divide it by 1/2 inch per year. I see that this 9 is a whole number, and I know that it's easier to divide by a fraction, so I'm going to draw a line underneath the 9 and place a 1. Now I'm going to rewrite the problem. 9 over 1 multiplied by the reciprocal fraction of 1/2, which would be 2 over 1. 9 times 2 equals 18. 1 times 1 is 1. And I know that 18 divided by 1 is 18 whole. So it would take 18 years for the diameter of the tree to grow 9 inches. So you need to check and see if this is reasonable. So 1/2 inch for 1 year, 1/2 inch for another year, 1/2 inch for another year. So you would have to do that 18 times for the tree to have a diameter of 9 inches. When you're working with word problems, it's especially important that you check for the reasonableness of your answer after you solve the problem. Question number 3. Mrs. Webster wants to divide the milk shown into servings that are 1/3 of a pint in size. How many servings are possible? So we have a total of 5 pints, and we're going to divide it into 1/3 servings. I have a whole number here, so I'm going to draw a line underneath it and put a 1 so that I can divide a fraction by a fraction. By placing this 1 under the 5, I haven't changed the value of the 5, because 5 divided by 1 still equals 5. And now I'm going to rewrite my problem. I have 5 over 1, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction of 1/3, which would be 3 over 1. 5 times 3 equals 15. 1 times 1 equals 1. I know that 15 divided by 1 equals 15 whole. So there will be 15 servings possible. Number 4, find the quotients. I see that I have 1/8 divided by 2 whole. I'm going to turn this 2 whole into a fraction without changing its value by placing a 1 underneath it. I know it hasn't changed its value because 2 divided by 1 still equals 2 whole. And now I'm going to rewrite the problem. I have 1/8. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction of 2 over 1. And that would be 1/2, or 1 over 2. 1 times 1 equals 1, and 8 times 2 equals 16. Number 5, find the quotient. I have 6 whole divided by 1/5. Again, it's easier to divide a fraction by a fraction, so I'm going to draw a line underneath the 6 and put a 1. 6 divided by 1 still equals 6 whole, so I'm not changing the number's value by doing that. Now I'm going to rewrite my problem. 6 over 1. I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction of 1/5, which would be 5 over 1. 6 times 5 equals 30, and 1 times 1 equals 1. I know that 30 divided by 1 equals 30 whole. Julie bought 6 yards of cloth to make holiday napkin rings. If she needs 3/4 of a yard to make each ring, how many rings can she make? So she's starting out with 6 yards of cloth, and she's going to be dividing it into 3/4 of a yard to make each of these napkin rings. Here I have a whole number, and I need to change this into a fraction, so I'm going to draw a line underneath it and put a 1. Now I'm going to rewrite my problem. 6 over 1 multiplied by the reciprocal fraction of 3/4, which would be 4 over 3, or 4/3. 6 times 4 equals 24, and 1 times 3 equals 3. I know that 24 divided by 3 equals 8. So she can make 8 napkin rings. Number 7. Sue has 1/4 a gallon of milk. She needs to pour 3 glasses of milk. So she's taking this 1/4 of a gallon and she's dividing it between 3 glasses. I'm going to turn this 3 whole into a fraction by drawing a line and putting a 1 underneath it. Now I'm going to multiply 1/4 times the reciprocal fraction of 3 over 1, which would be 1/3. 1 times 1 equals 1, and 4 times 3 equals 12. So 1/12 of a gallon would be put into each glass. I have 3 whole divided by 1/15. I need to draw a line underneath this 3 and put a 1 so that I can turn it into a fraction. I know that it's easier to divide a fraction by a fraction. I'm going to rewrite my problem. 3 over 1 multiplied by the reciprocal fraction of 1/15, which would be 15 over 1. 3 times 15, or 3/15s, would be 45, and 1 times 1 equals 1. 45 divided by 1 equals 45 whole. Flipping over to the back, we have question number 9. I have 8 whole divided by 2/3. Once again, it's easier to multiply a fraction by a fraction, so we are going to put a line underneath the 8 and put a 1. Now we have 8 divided by 1. This does not change the value. This 8 is still worth 8. Yes, ma'am?
Do you have your students right now?
No, they are all in health and fitness.
Okay, they go to Chairboat, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Sorry about that interruption. So 8 divided by 1 still equals 8 whole. Now I'm going to rewrite this problem. I have 8 over 1 multiplied by 2/3. 8 times 2 equals 16, and 1 times 3 equals 3. Now this is an improper fraction, so I'm going to turn it into a mixed number. I'm going to write 16 divided by 3. I know that 5 times 3 gives me 15. I subtract and have 1 left over. So that means I have 1 left over out of 3. So my final answer will be 5 1/3. Joyce is making sushi rolls. She needs 1/4 cup of rice for each sushi roll. How many sushi rolls can she make if she has 10 cups of rice? So we're going to start out with 10 cups of rice, and we're dividing it into 1/4 cups needed to make each sushi roll. 10 is a whole number, so I'm going to draw a line underneath it and put a 1. Then I'm going to multiply this by the reciprocal fraction of 1/4, which would be 4 over 1. 10 times 4 is 40, and 1 times 1 is 1. 40 divided by 1 equals 40 sushi rolls. Number 11. Half a casserole is left over. Ann, Beth, Joe, and Chuck are sharing the leftovers equally. What fraction of the casserole does each person get? So half a casserole, I know that this would be written as 1 over 2 in fraction form, 1/2. And I'm dividing it between and Beth, Joe, Chuck. That's 4 people. This is a whole number, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it into a fraction number without changing its value. Now I have 1/2 multiplied by the reciprocal fraction of 4/1, which would be 1/4. 1 times 1 equals 1, and 2 times 4 equals 8. So each person gets 1/8 of the casserole. Next problem, I have 1/4 divided by 5 whole. I'm going to turn this 5 whole into a fraction by drawing a line and putting a 1. Again, that doesn't change its value. 5 divided by 1 is still equal to 5 whole. Now I'm going to rewrite the problem. 1/4 multiplied by the reciprocal fraction of 5/1, which would be 1/5. 1 times 1 equals 1, and 4 times 5 equals 20. So my final answer is 1/20. Cameron and his family were eating leftover lasagna. There was 1/4 of the lasagna left. Cameron has 1 brother, 1 sister, and 2 parents. If everyone gets the same size piece, what fraction of the lasagna does each member of Cameron's family receive? So they only have 1/4 of the whole lasagna to split between all of them. In my family, this would be more like a snack than another meal. So we have to count all of the people who are going to be eating this leftover lasagna. We have Cameron, plus 1 brother, plus 1 sister, plus 2 parents. So Cameron, brother, sister, that's 3, 2 parents, that's 5 people. So we're dividing it 5 equal ways. So this is a whole number, and once again I need to turn it into a fraction form. And now I'm going to be multiplying 1/4 by the reciprocal form of 5/1, which would be 1/5. 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 5 is 20. So each person will get 1/20. Number 14, find the quotient. I have 6 whole divided by 1/8. I'm going to turn the 6 whole into fraction form. So I have 6/1, and I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal fraction of 1/8, which would be 8/1. 6 times 8 is 48, and 1 times 1 is 1. 48 divided by 1 is 48. Thank you so much to you ladies who have logged on to YouTube and taken this extra time to go over all of your work. I'm so proud of you for taking control of your learning and being proactive about studying for this division test. I know that we have been out with so many snow days, and I'm very proud of you for trying to get caught up and preparing for your division test. All right, thanks ladies. Bye.